I know if I'm not processing it in a healthy way, it comes out in the car. I'm making a joke. It comes out in the car, right? Somebody does something, I like freak out, and the man's like, "Where the veins popping out of my neck?" She's like, "Where's that coming from?" And usually it's because I'm not processing some certain things at a heart level. It's very revealing spiritually and emotionally when criticism hits. I'm trying to learn how to see criticism as a blessing because it's going to reveal what's really going on in my life.
Welcome to another episode of the One Life podcast. We're in week number 3 of Battle Ready. And Pastor Jared, I have a lot of critical statements about your sermon this week.
I'll take them.
Just kidding.
I'll receive them.
So that's what the topic was about, how to handle criticism. And so I think as we've talked about lots of different things over the last couple of years, you always sprinkle in like, hey, this is a really practical takeaway. I feel like this is definitely one of those that we always deal with it, even when we go to like the Easter survey and you get like how to deal with difficult people or some of those things. Yep. Like dealing with criticism is something we all face. So speaking to that first, just like as you were preparing for Battle Ready sermon series, why did you choose to talk about dealing with criticism?
Well, that's a great question, and a lot of this kind of left the cutting room floor just for time's sake. But I'm trying to get our people to understand that, and I'm kind of even alluding to it now with the Here and Now series that's coming in February, is we are going to ask God for some major things of vision and faith. And honestly, this vision that we're about to lay out to the church, it's scary. I'm scared. Our elders, we've prayed and we fasted, but this is the largest vision that we've ever presented to our church since I've been the pastor. Every time you have vision and faith, and again, just like kind of make it very practical, anytime you accomplish anything for the kingdom of God, there will be pushback. And oftentimes the pushback is just in the way other people talk about it, critical, going to question your motives, all those types of things is a normal part of being a leader, leading anything substantial. But honestly, spiritually speaking, if you're going to do anything for God, if you're going to rearrange your life, people are going to be critical of you. So I just want our people to know what's coming. Be unmovable and unshakable. Don't allow a little bit of criticism to get in the way of what God wants to do in your life.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes they're just paralyzed. They don't make a hard decision because they're afraid of what people will think, knowing that this is the right decision. This is what God's calling me to do. But again, their desire for the approval of other people, not of God, keeps them stuck.
Yeah.
And I would say sometimes, man, I'm even a little bit gun shy or slow of making some decisions. And part of it is the processing of, why do I care so much what other people think? This is what God's telling us to do. Let's get after it. And just realize that criticism, fair and unfair, are going to come your way.
Yeah.
And I just want our people to be set like flint, man. Be unmovable and unshakable. Expect it.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
When you think of the battle, especially with how much we've talked about spiritual warfare, but that associates pretty evenly. I get it. That's the enemy. That's the opposition. But then you brought in today of okay, it's not just maybe the spiritual warfare with the enemy, but it could just be opposition and criticism you face from people.
Yeah.
And I was reminded immediately of our Nehemiah series, right?
Yeah.
When Nehemiah gets to that point and he's the adversity he faces came from a weird spot and he was kind of confused by it, and even the people in his own camp, so there comes moments as we go that those things are just going to happen.
That's right.
But so speaking to one thing, and then first off, the phrase that stuck with me was one you kind of opened with, that you got to have thick skin and a soft heart because the alternative is thin skin and a hard heart.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really hit home. But then you talked about 2 responses to criticisms. And I feel like we say every week, this is for the things that fell on the cutting room floor.
Yep.
So speak into the separatism and the syncretism. Am I saying that right?
That's right.
Okay. Speak into those 2 things.
So I don't want to label everyone.
Okay.
But most of the time, in unhealthy ways, when you deal with criticism, you're going to fall into 2 buckets. One is the separatist, and now this is some church lingo.
Mm-hmm.
It's this idea of well, of course, they hated Jesus, they're going to hate us. We need to be so separate. And it's this moment of you're just edgy because you're not really processing criticism in a healthy way. And you're just automatically separate. They're bad, we're good.
Yeah.
And I think that's, there might be some truth to that. but also probably not the best angle to kind of live your life or even lead a church. The other side of that is, man, we're going to like just morph all of our convictions and ideologies, and we're going to, say yes to certain sinful things because we don't want the culture like to criticize us. So it's both and my job is like, no, there has to probably be a balance of it's okay for people to be critical of you. They were critical of Jesus. They're going to be critical of you. But that doesn't make you like angry and hostile. Right. And then the other side is if criticism comes, don't change your convictions to fit in.
Yeah.
So I think the healthy way you process is to live in the middle of that. It's not as we say all the time, it's not a problem to solve. It's a tension to manage. And it's okay to live in the tension of separatism and secretism.
Yeah.
And still be faithful to God's word and still know that the critics are gonna come against you.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the Christian life.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what you said towards the end with the emotions, because at the end of the day, both of those are very emotional decisions. I'm either going to compromise or double down and go one side or the other.
And what happens, right? No, the separatists and the secretists, they never talk with each other. They talk over each other, right? And they're just all angry and they come in hot. I don't care what side, and it automatically just stirs the emotion. You become all angry and hostile, and man, then nothing good is ever accomplished in those moments. So that's my separatist syncretism, like living in the balance of that.
Yeah, that's good. All right, let's break down the 5 main things you talked about then as we prepare to handle criticism. Number 1, we anticipate it, right? If you don't anticipate the criticism, it will cripple you.
Kind of like just
favorite illustration of the whole
football one. You like that?
Yes.
Let's go.
Sprinkled that in for me. I appreciate it.
You. Gotta throw Pastor DJ a bone. Yeah, but it's true, right? I mean, we were watching football this weekend, and Grayson, and there was a hard hit. I forget. I mean, it was Brock Purdy took a blindside hit pretty hard, and I'm like, Grayson, this is a sermon illustration. Like he wasn't prepared for it, and what happened? He fumbled the ball, and like it's but if you can anticipate it, brace for it, you're able to absorb it.
Yeah.
And that is the problem, though. Most of the time, criticism, we don't see it coming, or it comes from someone that we didn't expect, and that's why it hurts so much.
Yeah.
So I just kind of want to like go back to James for a moment. It's not if, it's when temptation comes your way. Same thing with criticism. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah.
Hubbard's quote: "If you don't want to be criticized, do nothing, say nothing, be nothing." Now, if you're going to do anything, like just so if you anticipate it, you're able to handle it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it honestly actually turns into point number 4, which is all about the spiritual side. It's actually revealing something that's inside of you if you're unable to handle the criticism.
Yeah. That's good.
So anticipate it.
Number 2 is you're never going to regret a gentle response, right? So speaking to that, not only from an individual standpoint, but then as a leader, you lead the whole organization.
Yep. How
like when tensions come, problems come, like you take a step back sometimes and make sure that there are gentle responses in some areas.
Well, okay. You'll laugh at this as the executive pastor. Like, if you hire more people, you'll have less problems. And it's exactly the opposite. More people you bring on the team, the more problems you have, man.
Yeah.
And now I'm managing and trying to lead. How many staff members do we have?
Close to 40.
Close to 40 now. Yeah. And everybody has, so I always tell our staff, I remind them over and over again, the leader in the room is the calmest. Regardless of what somebody's all fired up about, does not mean their emergency needs to be your crisis. So you can lower the tension by just remaining calm, not allowing whatever's going on, or even like when the emails and the criticism come, like just take a deep breath, man, and realize, and that was point number 3, right? That something's probably going on inside of them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that you always have to respond. But if you need to respond, take some time. And this left the cutting room floor. Take 24 hours, right? And allow the thoughts, like the worst thing that can happen is somebody email and you fire back an email. Like that never ends well.
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath and then process. Like, again, this is self-discipline. Is this worth it? Yeah. And now if you're a justice person, the answer for is always yes. It's always worth it. And I think that's just immaturity, to be honest with you. Like, is it? No, or it's okay if you didn't get your way. It's okay if they took advantage of a situation. Like 90% of the response, or the things I think need to respond, if I take 24 hours they actually don't need to be responded to.
Yeah.
And it just saves a whole much, like it just, you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. That's good.
And then in that 24-hour time frame, you know what's happening? I'm thinking, because if you don't, you're going to process like, oh, you're not going to think the best of them. You're going to think they're out to get you. And rarely is that ever true.
Yeah.
And so if it deserves a response 24 hours later, if the worst case scenario, you'll find that to be true 24 hours later. It doesn't need to be solved right now.
Yeah.
So again, don't make somebody else's crisis become your emergency. And people just live behind, man. They live behind their phone. They live behind a screen, but pick up the phone, call them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
How like a gentle response, man, it just calms the storm.
Yeah. I agree 100% about like once you hear their voice and stuff, even better, like if you can set something up in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only would that help the 24-hour rule, but then at that point, they've probably calmed down on the matter too, or it may have already been solved by then. Like sometimes that happens too.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And here's kind of like what I've discovered being in a church and leading people is if they're all angry, it's just they don't know the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
They know a piece of it. They don't know everything.
Yeah.
And so, and part of it is they don't need to know everything, right? It's not their job to know that. But again, this is where relationship and trust and all that stuff kind of plays out.
Yeah.
So that's what I've if it deserves it, man, you can never go wrong with a gentle response.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, DJ, here's what's helpful for what I've learned. I can't control anybody. If you're going to be angry, like you're going to be angry. But just because you're angry doesn't mean I have to be. So just a gentle response. And the way I kind of joke with the team, if you pick at like a scab, it's amazing what will come out. And so if they're all angry and angsty and you just like, and it comes back at you, you're like, okay, now we're not talking about this. You have something else going on inside of you.
Yeah.
So that's usually how,
and that's the third point.
Tips for leading people.
Yeah. So how do we handle that, right? Because the third point, behind every unfair criticism is likely a deep-seated pain. Yeah. So first, how do we identify that, or can we really? And then B, how do we either lead around that or lead other people through that? This dropped from the sermon, but in my experience, two deep-seated issues are usually what is at the bottom of a criticism. Number one, it's they're losing control, lack of control. Mm-hmm. And number two, it's entitlement. Mm-hmm. They think that, so every time when I get criticism, it's no. And I can, not always, but I can pretty much pinpoint one of those two issues. So when I get criticism from the church, it's they're losing control because the church is getting bigger and we're making a new policy or something that's changing the way things have always been done. Or I'm entitled to that. This is what I want. And no, you're actually not getting what you want anymore. Those are the two things that usually are behind a criticism. Yeah. So you just kind of recognize that, and then you try to lead people. And how I try to do this with somebody is if I'm in a conversation, I never, project on them. It's always, I'll just use it as an example, like role play. I'm like, hey DJ, it really seems like there's something going on here. And I'd love to help you. I wonder if you'd be interested to what I have to say. And 95% of the time, they'll say yes. And what just happened in that moment, and this is a little thing, psychology, they just gave you permission to speak into their life. Yeah. Which, and then again, right? Then it's just calm. I'm not angry when I say that. Hey, I think there's something going on here. I'd like to speak into this. Are you interested in what I have to say? Yeah. Well, yeah. And then you're able to lead them. Yeah. And then and then sometimes you're not. And then you're just like, okay, you don't want me to lead. Like you just want to get something off your chest. Yeah. And it all kind of stems from those unresolved pain, woundedness in their life that's causing all this to be fired up. It's good. It's my little trick of the trade. Your fourth one, your response to criticism is a signal as to what's going on with you spiritually and emotionally. So speak into that for a minute of just how we can grow as we are criticized.
Well, it's very personal for me. That point is 100% right back on me. I know if I'm not processing it in a healthy way, it comes out in the car. I'm making a joke. It comes out in the car, right? Somebody does something, I freak out, and the man's like, "Where the veins popping out of my neck?" She's like, "Where's that coming from?" And usually it's because I'm not processing some certain things at a heart level. Mm-hmm. Or if I'm really short with Amanda or the kids, I'll get an email and she'll know. She'll be like, "Oh, dude, why are you focusing on that, crazy person when you have 99% of the people are all on board in this.
Yeah.
And again, it's just the way I think Satan kind of twists, this. And so it's a clear indication for me if I'm actually dealing with things at a heart level or not. If I'm worried too much about what people think, or I don't care at all, then I have the thin skin, hard heart. So there's that balance of, it's very revealing spiritually and emotionally when criticism hits. So I'm trying to learn, I said this, I think, in every service, I'm trying to learn how to see criticism as a blessing because it's going to reveal what's really going on in my life. So that's good. That's the spiritual side. And then you just read 1 Peter chapter 4 again, and then you see all of it, right? Like, consider it joy, not a strange thing, because it's actually making you a co-laborer with Christ. Oh, and that's point number 4. It's that's why you can be a blessing, because it actually is a spiritual thing that's taking place. Yeah,
it's good. Growth comes from it, right? And that's that's got to be the takeaway. If you only look at challenges and your criticisms as just challenges and criticisms, you're missing the point. Yeah. Like, these are opportunities. Obstacles that feel like obstacles are obstacles that are helping us grow.
That's well put. The other thing too, I would say with this, and I think I said this in every service, but I want to make our listeners, very aware. I am not saying that you should never listen to criticism. That's not the point of that message. Don't walk out of here and be like, Pastor Jared's like, forget it. Nobody's opinion matters. No. You don't have to listen to every voice. There are some voices you must listen to.
Yeah.
People that love you, that care for you, that see the blind spots. Those are the criticisms that you want. And those, if your heart is right for it, those are the criticisms that actually help you grow.
Yeah.
Because they believe the best and they want the best for you.
Yeah.
But there's some people like, well, I made the joke, like, hey, do they give and do they serve? And are they involved here? No. Then I'm not going to your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're not bought into what we're doing. You just have an opinion. So again, like, not to be overly angsty or critical of that. There are people that you need to listen to because it is growth. And they're revealing something you're probably not aware of or seeing.
Yeah.
Which is helpful.
That's good. So the last one there was, when we crave the approval of others, we'll be crushed by their criticism. So speaking to that, not only your leadership journey, but then also, again, as a whole, right? We're a growing church, growing organization. Inside of that, we constantly compare ourselves to others. So speaking to that, as far as point number 5.
I mean, comparison is the trap, right? We kind of know that. For me personally, it's a discipline. We all live in echo chambers. So this is what I've discovered. The people that you surround yourself with, like, if they're all angry about the same thing, it's because they're living in an echo chamber. But then if you're only sitting with these certain people and they're all happy, it's an echo chamber. Everybody's in an echo chamber. You have to discipline yourself of realizing, well, just because you feel that way does not what everybody feels. And it's vice versa, right? So it's just, man, don't get too high when the praise comes. And that's what I get to eat. Like, this is amazing. Look how awesome I am. Look how big our church is growing. But so you don't get too high on the highs and you don't get too low on the lows. And it's just a discipline of not to live in an echo chamber. And I don't know who that's for today, but I think let's be really practical with that. This is not in the sermon, but an echo chamber, if all you listen to is Fox News, it's an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Same thing is true with CNN, right? So where I get my news from is Twitter, X, 5 minutes, discipline myself. I have people from all parts, like all angles of the political aisle, because somewhere, like, there's going to be truth in that, right? You're not living in a constant echo chamber of just being told or believing what they're telling you to believe.
Yeah.
So that's my encouragement of, don't get too high, don't get too low. Like, the sweet spot is actually somewhere in the middle. Yeah. That way you're not crushed when the criticism comes, and you don't think of yourself too highly either. Galatians chapter 6, Paul says, who am I striving for, man? Like, the approval of others, the approval of God. That's a really good baseline of when it comes to criticism.
Yeah.
Because if you live for it, it'll be devastating. If you live for the praise, right, it'll fill you up. But when the praise turns off, and it always will, because you will make a decision that people won't like, and the criticism will come. And if you live off their praise, and when the criticism, you'll be devastated.
Yeah.
It will crush you. So again, live in the middle.
Yeah.
Be balanced. Be set like flint. ready for criticism. It's going to come. But my prayer for our people is that you'll be unmovable and shakable. Man, when it comes, it's not going to derail you. Keep on moving with what God has for you.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's my encouragement. Battle ready.
Battle ready.
Week 3.
We got one more week to go.
That's right.
Excited for next week. There are some few housekeeping things I want to talk about, though. Okay. Just some highlights, some things. So we over 100 people this week, 3 locations gone through the growth track. Just give us your quick thoughts on that.
I love it. And every single time, we were just talking about this, in the growth track, every single time we've done a growth track, people give their life to Jesus. 1, 2, 3. If you just prayed that prayer with me in growth track, raise your hand.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely amazing. So proud of every single person who's taken that step. Had some really good questions. It was fun at the beginning. I asked here at our Mesa campus, how long have you been coming? If you've been coming over a year, raise your hand. And, maybe like a handful of people. I'm like, what took you so long? Yeah. Why did it take you over a year? But then what was interesting is the amount of hands of the last 3 months. And the group, I'm like, hey, if you've been coming for 3 weeks, meaning like since January.
Yeah. Beginning of the year.
I'm blown away by how many new people God's bringing our way.
It's awesome.
So
and we are halfway through, right around halfway through 21 days of prayer and fasting. So thoughts on that too?
Really good.
Yeah.
And just the involvement. How many now have texted the word Devo even after the weekend?
Yeah, it's close to 900 now. Yeah.
We've never seen like the engagement and the involvement.
Yeah.
Like our setup this year, really proud of the team, putting it all together, and then everyone that's joining with us. Most, I'm being told, they're like, no, we're there at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So keep it up. They'll hear me say this every day, I think, this week, that I'm leading a devotional. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep getting after it. Keep pressing in. God will meet you.
It's a good deal.
Then we'll finish it all together, night of worship, baptisms.
Man,
it is thrilling.
All right. We'll see you back here next week. Remember, the church is not a building we sit in. It's a movement we get to be a part of to reach one more life for Jesus.